Alrighty, friends, let's make this review and see what we got going on. Mrs. Key. Sketch each following quadratic functions: concavity, roots, y-intercept, vertex, and line of symmetry. Alright, let's start with this one. This is in vertex form, so the vertex I can identify right away. The vertex is at -4, because that's what makes the inside 0, and then 2, because that's the vertical shift. The concavity is concave down. Down. That's not how you spell down. Silly me. What else do they need? Roots, line of symmetry, y-intercept. Okay, the line of symmetry is through the vertex, so that's x equals -4. The y-intercept is when x is 0, so that's -0 plus 4 squared plus 2. So that's -16, because 4 squared is 16. Plus 2, which is -14. So 0, -14. And then the roots, I'm going to set that equal to 0. So 0 equals -x plus 4 squared plus 2. Subtract 2 from both sides. And I'll multiply by -1, get rid of that. Take the square root, don't forget plus or minus. And so I'll have x plus 4 is plus or minus root 2. And subtract 4 from both sides. -4 plus or minus the square root of 2. Let's plot that. So the vertex is at -4, 2. So I'll put that here. And we go through -14, which is like down here. And then I'm going to be something like that and something like that. Beautiful. Next one. That's going to be concave up. I'll do some blue. Concave up. I got 3x. The y-intercept is easy. Y-intercept. If I plug in 0 for x, that takes care of the first two pieces, because those are both 0, so it's 0, 4. Let's go ahead and find the roots. 3x squared plus 12x plus 4 equals 0. Things that multiply to 12 and add to 12. Can't do that, so I'm going to have to, let's complete the square, I guess. So I'm going to divide everyone by 3. And I'm going to move that 4 at the same time. But make sure to divide it by 3. So this is going to turn into x plus 2 squared. So I'm going to have to add a 4 there. And I'm going to have to add a 4 here, but I'm actually going to write that as 12 thirds. So that's going to be 8 thirds. Alright, as a note, I can tell you the axis of symmetry right now. X equals -2 is your axis of symmetry. If I finish solving, take the square root, don't forget plus or minus. -2. That's not really a nice number, but now I have some things that I can at least graph on. Oh, I never found the vertex. The vertex is also at -2. So if I plug in -2 into my original equation, 2 squared is 4 times 3 is 12. 2 times -12 is -24. So that's -12. Plus 4 is -8. So -2, -8. Somewhere's down here. Y-intercept is, that's probably down a little far based on that one, is 0, 4, which is up here. So something like that. Last one. I'll do this in green. X-intercepts. -3, 0 makes the first parenthesis 0. 4, 0 makes the second. The vertex is halfway in between, so I guess I could do the axis of symmetry also. Halfway in between -3 and 4. Well, -3 plus 4 is 1. Divided by 2 is 1/2. So then I'm going to have to do 1/2 plus 3, which is 7 halves. 1/2 minus 4, so -7 halves. And then -2. So that's 49 halves. There you could use a calculator for that if you wanted to. We need the y-intercept. That's when I plug in 0. So that's going to be 0, and then negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, times negative 4 is 24. Oh, and concave down. Concave down. 49 halves is like 50, so that's a bit more than 25. So it's going to be something like that and like that, where this is 4, 0, and negative 3, 0. Something like that. Those are sketches, so we don't need to have a perfect graph. All right, well, let's move that negative 3 and just see if I can factor it first. So that's going to be multiply to 24, negative 24, and add to negative 10. Yeah, I can do that. So I have multiply to 24 and add to negative 10. Wouldn't that be negative 12 and positive 2? So factor out a 4x. You get x minus 3. Try 2x minus 3, silly goose. And then I already have 2x minus 3. So I put a 1 here to make myself feel better. So that's going to be 4x plus 1, 2x minus 3. The zeros of that are going to be negative 1/4 and positive 3/2. And then this next one is multiply to 4, add to negative 10. I can't do that. So I'm going to move that 4 over yonder. I'm going to put x minus 5 in parentheses, which means I'm going to put a 25 here and a 25 here, which makes that 21. Take the square root of both sides. Don't forget plus or minus. And then add the 5. And I did it. That was quick, so hopefully that was okay. Perform the following operations. So that's 13 plus I, because I'm just adding. Negative 3, negative 6 minus negative 9 is plus 3i. This one's going to be 30 minus 20i plus 9i minus 6i squared. 6i squared is negative 6, so that's negative 6. So that's positive 6. So that's 36 minus 11i. This one, we got to multiply by the conjugate on the bottom and on the top. Let's distribute at the top. So that's 20 plus, I'll write it all out, 50i minus 6i minus 15i squared over 4 plus 10i, that's an x, minus 10x, try again, minus 25i squared, which is going to be 20 minus negative 15, so 35. 50 minus 6 is 44. 10i and negative 10i go away. That's plus 25. 4 plus 25 is 29. Did that. What do I got next? Give the polynomial, write an equation of the polynomial modeled. Okay. So I have x plus 2. It looks like we bounced there, so I'm going to square that one. X minus 1, looks like we go straight through, so I'm going to leave that once. X minus 4, that kind of squiggles, so I'm going to do that 3 times. Now I just have to do a calculation here. If I plug in 0 for x, then I'm going to have 2 squared, which is 4, times negative 1 times negative 4 cubed, which is negative 64. I'm going to write this down because it might be confusing. So I'm going to plug in 0 for x. So a times 2 squared times negative 1 times negative 4 cubed is going to be, I forget what the number is, 83.04. Oh, not 0, not 0. I got tricked. I didn't get tricked, I just didn't pay attention. Negative 0.5. So a times 2 minus a half is 3/2. Negative a half minus a half is negative 3/2. Negative 1/2 minus 4 is negative 9/2. That's going to be negative 83.04. I should have just done decimals apparently. So let me do that calculation. So 3/2 times negative 3/2, 3/2 squared times negative 3/2 times negative 9/2 cubed is 307.546875. And so if I do A is going to be the negative 83.04 divided by 307.546875. So let's do that calculation. Negative 83.04 divided by, I got negative 0.27. So is negative 0.27. So that means my equation is just what I had before, but put negative 0.27 here. Oops, negative 0.27. There we go. Given the function, state the zeros. That looks factorable, so let's do that. I can take an x squared, x plus 3. I want an x plus 3 here. Luckily, I can put a negative 9 to make it happen. So x squared minus 9, x plus 3. So the zeros of that are going to be plus or minus 3, and the zeros of that are going to be negative 3. So my zeros are negative 3 and 3. That one shows up twice. The y-intercept is 0, negative 27. The end behavior, that's a positive cubic, so that's going to look like this. If you want to use limits, your limit as x goes to infinity for, is this named f? P. P of x is infinity. The limit as x goes to negative infinity of p of x is negative infinity. And sketch a graph. So, y-intercept's negative 27. We go through negative 3, we go through 3. We're going to come from down here, we're going to go like this, we're going to go down, and we're going to go up. Something like that would be BEA, beautiful.